well, this is a Hail Mary, so let's do it. So we're back for 171 of the Hypecast. Hello everyone, with yours truly, Sean, aka Hawk525, with my cohort Zawa, swaying in the background as sometimes, as sometimes. So just briefly, like how my week has been going. I told you, Zawa, but I've actually had a new opportunity of sorts, job-wise. So it's more on the freelance side of things for editing, and I worked on my first video today. We're still like working out the process and stuff like that. I'm actually uploading the next version as we speak, so that's why I was kind of like afraid of like, should we stream this as backup, or should we just try to record it and just see if it comes out okay or whatever. But it looks like streaming it looks like it's still okay, for backup sake, and should come out okay. So anyway, if this all goes through though, the new client and stuff like that, new opportunity, I will probably be able to focus on this and pretty much quit my other job, the warehouse job that I used to do a lot, but now I kind of just do on the side and just like completely not do it at some point. But still, we haven't really traveled that road just yet. We just started, so I don't want to like prematurely just come up with the decisions just yet. I mean, there could be a time where, or there could be a possibility where, after just like 2 weeks, my client will be like, I'm just gonna just look for someone else just because this and this and that or something. So, that happens and it's understandable. So I'm not gonna, no hard feelings will be given now. If that were be to be the case, I'll just go back to my own thing and it'll be just the same situation as usual for right now. But yeah, pretty much for the most part, that's been my week. Other than I managed to get some more Pokemon cards. Funny enough, we were looking at Pokemon cards earlier to look at their value. But I got like two of the 3 boxes so far of this like certain collection. It's like the EV VMAX collection boxes. I got Jolteon and Flareon. I just need Vaporeon, but I'm trying to wait on one of the stores to restock, and then I'll just try to snipe it out online or something like that. But yeah, I've just been playing Apex Legends, just kind of trying to wait on Legends Arceus, Pokemon Legends Arceus. I'm waiting for that to arrive. So once that arrives, I'm gonna play it. I might stream it, that sort of thing. So yeah. And with like kind of going back to the client thing, the new client situation. I'll definitely be busier during the weekdays, so there may be sometimes a possibility where the podcasts will come out a little later, maybe not on the Monday, maybe on a Tuesday or something like that. So, but I'll be sure to give a heads up for anyone who likes to, watch or listen to these hypecasts and stuff like that. So. Just wanted to throw it out there before I throw it to Zawa of how his week has been going. So, all yours.
What is money?
Oh man, yeah.
As Hawk over here saw, the only highlight of this week is buying finally after 20. I don't know how many years. But I finally bought myself a Kamen Rider belt.
Mm-hmm.
You would think it would be expensive, because importing and all that. But no. It was at a reasonable price. And to boot that it was an anniversary collection. So, like, did I score or did the shop owners not know the value?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, I mean, we take those, right? We take those W's. Sometimes, in Apex Legends, people die to the ring and you don't do anything. It's like, oh, okay, I'll take it. It's a win.
You're supposed to save them in the ring.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I was playing with Michi, right? and we were the last two squads, and then it was down to Michi and one other person. It was Ash, right? And then Ash was like circling around this like one of those like little like those van things or whatever, like the vehicle things that you can like go inside and find loot sometimes. It's like one of those random vehicles in the what was it? What's that one called? Not what's that stupid one with the volcano? My God.
World's End.
World's End. Thank you.
Come on.
I want Olympus to come back. I mean, okay. Anyway, Well, it's those random shits that are sitting out there in World's End, right? But they were circling around playing chicken and whatever, and then Michi, or no, she was low, so that's why she was like panicking and like running around, and I'm like, Michi, she's right here, because I'm down already. But I like worked on her like mostly, and then so she ulted, right? But she ulted right where the ring was, and the ring was like the highest round or whatever, so that means it's super damaging, and so pretty much she ulted herself into her death into the ring. We won. So I'm like, oh, we take those. Oh man,
it's a quick run.
Yeah,
run with it.
Yep. Anyway, anything else you wanted to toss in, pipe in?
No.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah.
Spent money. Lots of money.
Yeah. Oh,
it's okay.
I get paid. Sorry. One other thing. I stayed up to try to snipe a 3050, and the only thing I could have done was the egg shuffle on Newegg. You know what that is? It's basically like the raffle system. So basically, you enter right, and then you just give your email, and you just hope to God that they just have a slot for you to to buy it. So yeah, they're doing these like lottery systems for these products. They did the same thing with the Japanese Pokemon Center stuff, including Pokemon cards. So those sort of high demand products that get like botted a lot of times, they try to hide it, or they try to protect it with the lottery system, because obviously you can't really bot anything, so that's why they do it sometimes. So Newegg does that, unfortunately, with these 3050s. I probably could have done if I looked at a fucking better website to see like, oh, what store has these cards or whatever, I might have been able to get it, but not a big deal, I guess, because one, I'm not really playing a PC game that warrants that sort of card. Two, if again, like if my client and myself are comfortable working with each other, and like this is like we know this is going to be a long-term thing, I'm probably just gonna give me a new PC at this point. Like, yeah, like it'll probably be better that way, because not only I'm gonna get a new card, the one I'm looking at does come with the 3070, so that's already better. Two, the processor is probably updated, so therefore, it's probably gonna be a better computer overall. So probably in the long run, I'm probably better off with that, maybe, with the situation given here, right? Because getting a graphics card is still fucking hard, man. It's such a pain in the ass. Yeah. Granted, I might have been able to get it this time around if I looked at the right place, but even then, you don't know how long that thing is gonna be stayed up for in stock. Like, it could be like just seconds, So even if I did look at it, like, oh, add to cart, I still have to enter my card and like everything, like the billing address and all that shit, and then by that time, the bot might have taken everything or most of it. So who knows? I mean, I'm not trying to stress over it, but still, it is a pain in the ass trying to get a graphics card, because shipping sucks. The production is low, and not only that, the NFT motherfuckers are trying to, or crypto mining motherfuckers, hog up those too, to try to, well, guess what? Get more computers to mine more crypto, and also to try to make more NFTs and stuff like that. So again, we talked about it before, but they are creating these chain of problems on top of problems that have already been like there in the first place. So there's just more problems on top of more problems. So that's the kind of age we're in right now. But you know, gotta stick to it. I guess stick through it, and then hopefully things come back. Especially with production of stuff. My God, like there's been a lot of shortages on like random food products. Like my mom tried to like get some like vanilla Coke or cherry Coke. Well, it wasn't available, man. We can only get a classic Coke. I mean, nothing wrong with that, but you know, it's like, oh, geez, really, cherry Coke? My God, when did that happen, right? Till now. I mean, how are things you're in, like when it comes to like just buying food and shit? Because there's been some shortages up the ass when it comes to like random food shit.
It's hard to say. 'Cause sometimes like the stores will have it one day, then the next day it's gone.
That's exactly what's happened. Yeah, no, that's
And
exactly
then
what I'm
you
saying.
don't think about it, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we have it back. It's like, what? Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Like my mom couldn't buy like a can of beans or some like this can of beans that she always gets, right? You know, you just walk in and get a can of beans, this can of beans or whatever. It's like the triple mix or whatever, like there's three kinds or whatever.
yeah.
She always gets it, and it's like, okay, well, you know, no one ever like, or they don't ever like sell out of those, but
Yeah.
run out of those. But you know, but because of all this shit, like the shipping problems, the weather, the winter storm, like actually really affected things. You know, we have had these random shortages of random shit that you would never think of. You know, so even like fast food stuff, they are running low on things at times. Like Chipotle, they ran out of rice. Like, how the fuck does that happen, right? That's like one of the most like common things. It's like McDonald's running out of fries. You know, could you imagine that? Like, you know, so that sort of thing. Anyway, okay, so sorry for the tangent on my end. Let's get it going. So, but anyway, looks like it's been 13 minutes here, but let's see how long we take for these ones. Anyway, main news time. Let's bring up the notes for. Hold on, let me share the screen to Zawa before we really get into things.
No.
All right.
Skip.
The skip is back. Anyway, so we do have the artist notes for Elizabeth from KOI 15. So Zawa, if you're so kind.
What? All right, here we go, kids. Are you ready? I'm sure a lot of folks were pinning for her return. I almost said pinging.
It does have one N, so that's a typo there. So that's already a minus point.
And not only she's back, but she's also been reunited with Ash Crimson. Doesn't Ash have an E?
No, it's always been ASH. You're thinking of someone else. I'm pretty sure you're thinking of someone else.
No, the E's there. It's just silent and hidden.
It's invisible. There you go. Yeah.
And they are on the same team.
Yay.
Her overall design should be redesigned. Hasn't been drastically changed, but she's now sporting a leather corset, and the length of her sleeves has been altered a bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's all for you cosplayers.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So her silhouette may look different. Elizabeth is known for her excellent specials like Coup de Vent, which can launch enemies up after a combo, as well as her Gere. I don't know if it's pronounced that way because it sounds like it's supposed to be a French word.
Mm-hmm.
Which has great recovery. She has a ton of other moves, so be sure to pick her up and experiment a bit. Elizabeth wraps up KOF 15 starting roster of 39 characters. That's such an odd number.
Well, because there's teams of 3, so that's why it's an odd number.
True, but I like even. So if you're new to KOF, sorry.
No, go ahead.
So if you're new to KOF or you've been playing them for years now, KOF 15 is going to be packed with a ton of fun content that we know you're going to love. Like Data Fighter, you get to date them. KOF 15 will be released soon, so get ready.
Yep. From Mr. Tomohiro Nakata.
What is soon?
Well, soon it is February 17th, if I can remember.
That's not soon.
We're getting there though, because it's been like.
I know we're getting there, but soon is like tomorrow.
God,
next
I
week.
remember the first time we were talking about this whole thing, right? Like when it was first coming out, and then we were talking about Terry Bogard, like which was like one of the first characters, right? And then we just been pretty much talking about. I think we've covered all the reveals. So from this on this point, and funny enough, we thought it was going to be over, but there's still stuff to talk about, like the Terry Bogard alternate costume from Garo, Mark of the Wolves.
Yo, Mary, we gonna snoo later?
Hold on, let me hear that the English. Hold on, got that lovely English. Private.
Wait, he said private, right?
Yeah, he said private.
Then why did the caption says personal?
It's localization.
Localization, you need to work on your hearing.
I mean, that's what localization is. It's like if you're like sometimes I don't want to get into this too much, but sometimes yeah, like obviously they're not saying this exactly, but when you in a long run, I think it would sound weird or something like that for Westerners. So that's why they try to change it up a bit. Like there's a lot of things like that do happen in like Persona and like other games like that where yeah they're not saying that, but that's sort of how it is in localization. Like Ryuji when he's localized, he says dude a lot, but he doesn't say dude in Japanese because we don't have a term for dude directly. But they did it anyway because that's just what their take is on for Ryuji. So that's just how it goes.
I don't like it.
And yeah, I mean, I don't blame you for that.
At least Terry's being on a variety of characters instead of it's just what Andy and
Oh, there's Andy. Speaking of which,
I know. It's like, oh shit, never mind.
Yeah. Speaking of
I
which,
retract what I just said.
They're the colors. Pretty cool.
He's like, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
Shoryuken.
It's cool that he says ignition instead of launcher or riser or whatever he says in the other one. So it's kind of interesting. Or unless they changed it altogether. This could be a revision.
It's a revision because there are some. It's not like like how usual character costumes. It's just pretty much like a slap on to the model. Yeah. In this one, you can kind of see that they took the time to like tweak it
with the costume. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
because again, like,
oh yeah, go ahead.
Like Max brought up in one of his videos, you have M. Bison from Street Fighter 5, right? And his win pose, he takes off his hat, brushes the back, right?
Yeah.
On. And then you have some costumes that he doesn't have the hat, and what happens?
Yeah.
It's like, sir, what was on your head? My hat.
Yeah.
No. You don't have a hat, sir.
Yeah. Well, what I meant to say was this could be a complete revision, like they might have swap out completely, not just the costume, but but for his default costume too. So maybe, right? I could be wrong. It could be just the Marco the Wolves, sort of reference. Ignition was something he said in Marco the Wolves. Maybe I'm not too sure. I haven't played the game or anything like that, so but it could be something possible, but it's probably just a costume thing, right? So like you were saying, like it could just be a costume exclusive thing. So because it'd be kind of a shame because I do like launcher or riser or whatever the fuck he says, because it sounds cool. I like it. I personally like it. It's a nice little touch. But otherwise, the costume looks cool. Kind of reminiscent of Alex's bomber jacket, sort of thing. And I like the little cutscenes here too. Like Dinosaur, like he was about to call him the T-Zoc because that's his previous persona, but he's like, oh wait, well, Dinosaur. I like his face too. He's like, oh.
He's like, yo, person I never met before.
Yeah.
It's like smooth.
Yeah, and I like Dinosaur. He's like, what? Okay, he called me Dinosaur. Okay. Like,
he's like, bro.
Just look at Dinosaur. It's just funny. Like I like that little cutscene. It's these little things are great. I like it so far. And then there was one little scene with Mary. I think I don't think anything going on in there besides the fact that they wanted to talk in private. But anyway, there are the colors. There's alternate colors. I kind of want to take a look at it again. Pretty standard. They even have like the more of his like usual color, like the red, then denim combination. His shirt remains the same for the most part. It looks like. So the gloves are a little different here and there. So pretty standard colors for the most part. You got the purple, yellow, white, red combination, and there's a blue costume right there. Yeah, but they're cool. I like it. I like this trailer altogether. Like it really shows off like the look of the costume. They're showing off the colors, right? So pretty like telling sort of trailer when it comes to this costume alone. I wonder if they will do the same thing for Leona's costume, because they're gonna have the classic costume for her as well. Sometime down the road, which I think that's also a pre-order bonus. So I actually need to do that. I need to pre-order this game so I can get the costumes. Otherwise, I think if you read this, if you can wait. Oh no, it says the product code has an expiration date. Digital purchases only of DIY 15 made. Downloaded before March 9th, 2022. Will feature this DLC as a bonus. So that means this DLC will go on sale on its own, like as a individual item in the future. But it's definitely going to be after March 9th. We don't know when exactly, of course, but it's going to be definitely after sometime March 9th. If you don't feel like pre-ordering the game for whatever reason you have, which it's understandable. Sometimes you don't want to make that premature purchase. So yeah. If you want to wait for the costume, it will definitely have to be sometime after March 9th because the product code, that's when it expires. So yeah. Probably the same thing for Leona's costume. Again, that could be the same bonus with Terry, right? So that probably is going to be the same treatment as well. But yeah, cool. That's all I can say for Terry. Nice costume. Anything you wanted to pepper in before we move on to the next thing.
Are you okay?
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm definitely okay because we got Baiken in Gear to Gear Strive, aka Baiken. She with some surprise, I would say, has made it into the fourth, the fourth slot of the 5, and now she actually now has an actual trailer instead of that, that teaser we got earlier, a little short while back. This is the Japanese version, so
The superior version.
oh, I didn't say that, but
Yeah, you're right. The Spanish version.
the Spanish one, yes.
Because the announcer is like one of their football announcers.
Oh yeah,
Yelling
football, yeah. Goal!
Goal!
Yeah, I think that guy is like retired, like long retired, which is understandable.
Just hearing him yell is like, Jesus Christ.
But anyway,
and there is the screenshot.
There is the screenshot. That's the thumbnail. Actually, well, Giuna tried to use this as part of his thumbnail, and then he actually got a warning or something from YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube was like, this is like pretty much YouTube was saying like, this is very bad.
Yeah, no, this is a no.
This is a no, and it's like, but that's how the character looks.
That's the character. Yeah, that's the look. Yeah.
So are you saying that that Guilty Gear should not be on this platform?
There's a lot of characters. There's a good number of characters that show off their chest, and even Saul Bad Guy shows off his chest. I mean, that's his thing, right? That's all he's been doing. Even Kai Kisuke of all people is showing off his chest too.
And then it's like also, what about Bayonetta?
Yeah, I mean, there's always that weird sort of like, this is okay, but this is not okay.
Yeah, this is such like a very bad gray area. Yeah. Speaking of gray area.
Yeah, speaking of gray area, I mean, I like this, classic samurai cinema reference, Kurosawa type of stuff.
Imagine that was a filter or a
mode, a mode and Guilty Gear.
In Strive.
Yeah, Strive. That'd be actually pretty cool. But the song though, the song is a little.
I don't know, the song does not match, in my opinion.
It's like it starts off good. Like it's a cool song. For alone.
Yeah.
Whether it matches Baiken or not. But this alone was cool. And then you have the just. Just
like,
yeah.
It's like Waluigi just stepped on a Lego.
The rest of the song is okay. It's just that weird. It's like those songs, they have that like weird thing in there, and then the rest of it's cool. But yeah, she got some new stuff. Biggest one of them all is the tether, and here's her victory animation, which looks really cool. You got the swords and stuff like that with the blood stain. Oh man, it looks so cool. Yeah, so she has like her arm has changed too. She doesn't have like a claw anymore. She has like a ball and chain, or like a mason chain kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's her dust. And you can see the tether a little bit. Counter or parry, I should say. Gun.
Which is more funny that the name of that move just means gun.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's why I pointed that out.
I remember you pointed it out. I was like, shh.
Because it's called Kenju. Kenju is just gun. Like
yeah, and then I'm like, shh. They're just trying to relive what they did with Yakuza.
I guess, yeah. I guess. But I mean, the gun thing is not super new. I mean, she had a cannon in the other one, so it's not super new. But I just thought it was funny that they call it gun. Like, it's just gun. Even though Kenju does sound cool for everyone else, but it just means gun. That's just what it is. So I think it's funny. But it's her super. It's part of her one of her supers, and then she has a classic super, which is like the 3-hit one with the Japanese stuff thrown in there. But we can, kind of slow down and take a look at the, some of the different things that we do see in here, which I will try to do right here.
You should have left the noise on.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to. Yeah. Oh, I mean, sorry. Before we do that, there is a new stage, obviously, called Lab of the Kami, and then
that sounds so bad, out of context.
Oh yeah. It does sound a little weird, but I'm sure there's context or something reason behind it.
Where are you going, sir? I'm going to the lap of Kami.
Yeah,
like,
the lap of the Kami. Yeah.
It's like what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit on its lap.
Especially if you watch a good number of anime at this point with the slice of life stuff. But anywho, she is coming out at the end of February, so there is quite a wait still. So pretty much a month as we record this. But yeah, she's coming no less, and then we still have one more character to look forward to for this pass. So I'm pretty sure there's gonna be another pass or another season of this. It's been doing pretty good, for the most part. So people are still on board with it, and we can. I think it's still pretty safe to say that we can look forward to another pass. Now we do want to remember that this also. Well, the last character will also come up with a new stage and a new chapter in the story. So we're getting a little extra for that character too. Especially if you bought the season pass, as I did myself. So wanted to see like the intro and stuff like that, like in slow motion. But maybe that might be a little too slow, but we'll kind of speed up a little bit.
Anji, I haven't showered in 15 days.
Yeah.
You want to fight me?
Yeah, for the most part, she is Baiken, right? Like, she still has everything intact. Maybe there might be some tweaking here and there, but the only one thing I do notice is that her eye patch her actual eye patch that was under her goggle is missing. So now you can see all of her eye. I think she had an eye patch under that the goggle, right? I mean, otherwise you don't see her eye closed or something like that. Like, you just see an eye patch, or it's something's always been blocking it. But I just thought it was interesting. Like, now they're showing that little bit of detail there. But I mean, obviously she's missing an eye. I mean, we all know that. But she always had an eye patch, and then the goggle. But I don't know. Thought it was interesting. So yeah, that's the only like notable change. Otherwise, she's the big booba samurai chick that always has big booba. As people like to point out, as much as other people kind of want to point out that she kind of became much more waifu-esque in Exert. Like, she always was designed that way.
Yeah.
So, I like this taunt or whatever. Kind of cool. She's laughing. Very detailed in the physics, obviously. But yeah, this victory screen looks really cool. The swords and everything. Nice touch. And then she still has her tatami mat, tatami gaishi. But yeah, the tether is what's
okay. That
super
tethering
new.
Animation looks so weird. It looked like she just pulled it out of his ass. She's like, yeah,
I know.
Gotcha. It's like,
yeah.
Ow.
So you're telling me that the tether was always in everyone's asses somehow, and then Baiken just pulls it out.
She doesn't even wash her hands. She just said,
Yeah. Yeah, I think the tethering thing is going to be interesting. We'll see how like actually effective it goes, along with this parry mechanic that she has, which was also a thing in Exert.
yeah.
Because, go ahead. You're gonna say something?
Well, it's just now a command move now, instead of like how you would do like parrying in like
Oh yeah,
strings.
like if you hit forward or something
Yeah,
or something. Yeah. I see what you're
yeah.
saying. Yeah.
This is actual like
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if it's like
It's a quarter
half
circle.
circle.
It's a quarter
There,
circle punch. Yeah, a quarter circle forward
there you
punch. Hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, there is the character demo. We could definitely take a look at that and have a better explanation of things. But we definitely like know quite a bit or quite a lot just from this right here or that trailer. But take a quick look at it. I guess we don't need the sound on. But basically, why is this automatically on? All right. Anyway, yeah. So there's the tatami gaishi. You can do it in the
Mhm.
air. I think as before, pretty active. So you can use it as a wake up option sort of thing, or against them rather. Not when you're waking up, but you can use it as part of the oki, and so you can like set up for a meaty. You can do like a overhead or blow or something, depending on what you want to do. Yeah, so it shows you can do it in the air. Uh, yeah. It looks like it's pretty active, like most of its time. So
Mhm.
you can definitely use it as a meaty of sorts. Yeah, like that. Boom, and then meaty them. Kabaddi, that is the bell. Yeah. So she pulls out a bell now instead of a claw, which is weird. But when you do hit the bell, now you have a tether on them, as you can see with her walking back.
She's like, "Come here, boy.
Yeah, I
Come
know.
here.
And then
Come here."
and then when you try to jump back or they try to jump back, it like, it like springs them back towards you. And the more they do that, the more stronger it gets, apparently. Until I guess after a certain amount of time. So pretty interesting mechanic. I want to see how this is effective for Baiken, or how much it works against her rather, because someone like Potemkin, for example, like, would you want them tethered? Because Potemkin wants to be up close, unless she has because her parry is not going to work against command grabs because it doesn't work with projectiles and throws. So I'm thinking this could be a bad thing on Baiken when she's fighting against someone like Potemkin, for example, because Potemkin really wants to get in. That's his key,
Mhm.
so he needs to get in. So for her to do that, I think it's rather inviting him instead of um, trying to like work against him. Unless she has buttons that mostly beat out his, then okay, that could work in her favor more. But you have to watch out for the whatchamacall, his command grab. But not only that, people who can do the Roman cancel, the weird like Roman cancel dash, where characters can just launch forward when they do a Roman cancel, like depending on what, some sort of like movement or something like that. I think Potemkin can do that. Nagaryuki can definitely do that. Um, I'm not sure if everyone else can do it like easily, but I'm pretty sure most people or a good number of people or no good number of characters can do that. So if that happens, I wonder what happens to the physics of the tethering. Like, will they like just freaks out and like just, I don't know. I'm pretty sure there might be some bugs that could pop up with this mechanic, so they'll have to like patch it pretty fast. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see about the whole
Yeah,
tethering thing. Yeah,
we'll see.
yeah. So yeah, so you can definitely see jumping back. Also, pulls them back in, whether it's you or them.
Get over
Yeah, I
here.
know. Yeah, it's kind of like a get over here kind of move, but when it works for her, it looks really cool. Like, because she's hitting them, they bounce back towards you, so you can like do like 50% easily, even with
Yeah.
Anji, because Anji has one of the highest guts rating, which means he has high defense. Especially when the lower health you go down, the higher guts you get for each character, especially with Potemkin and Anji, for example. So it looks like she could do a lot of damage. So, oh yeah, okay, she still has a claw. It's just maybe like put into a different move thing, command or whatever. So yeah, they're just showing off her buttons, how far they reach and stuff like that. She's not full screen, so yeah, she has to like be like mid range or something. And it looks like she has a grab that can also initiate the tethering too, whether it's a regular grab or a command grab. I'm not too sure. It didn't say, so I guess it might be just a regular grab. And then she has that move also, which I think she always had that, the weird like sword arm thing. Sin. She has a two hit sweep, which is interesting. I think she had that in the past, but it could be different here. I'm not too sure. But yeah, you can do it up in the air. You can actually, I think you can tiger knee it too, which means you can instantly jump up and do the move, which opens up, options for her. If done right, of course. And then they're showing off the parry / counter. Works on most attacks except for throws and projectiles, like I've been saying. So we can kind of skip over that ish. Yeah, so it just shows you the butterfly doesn't goes through it. Throws can go through it. So again, you definitely don't want to just throw that out there. Looks like the parry is kind of quick, but we'll see. It could be like 3 frames or something.
Mm-hmm.
This is her super that she always had. So it's this three hit super. And then and she does the little spin and then slash. Always had that move. Very classic of Baiken. Can't go wrong with it.
So I was wondering what those characters say. It says "get fucked."
Yeah, probably. It looks like it's pretty fast, so you can like throw it during a gap of someone's move, so you can like get out of it.
It says heaven something, right?
Yeah. 10. It's like Tenchi something. It looks like it says Tenchi something. I could be wrong, but it definitely starts with 10, which is it could be heaven, earth, something,
or divine sometimes.
Divine earth, whatever, heavenly earth something, whatever that means.
Sorry, everyone, I can't. I don't know how to read kanji.
Mm-hmm.
Kanji is very hard.
Oh, everyone knows. Even Chinese people say kanji is hard. If they say it's hard, it's fucking hard, dude. There's a lot of kanji.
It's like, why is kanji hard? Because one character equals like 60,000
meanings. Yeah. Depending on context.
Yeah. Then why did they make that system?
I mean, English words can mean more than one thing too. That's the thing. That's just how people work. Anywho, yeah. Kenju, that's her other special. Yep, gun, which is gun. She's out that firework.
Imagine this attack was a no frame.
Oh, dude, it'd be
bang, just like, oh god, where did that come from?
Yeah, that'd be fucking broken for sure. It definitely is something you can use as a means to break the wall. So pretty cool combo route possibilities for Baiken. As you can see, one here, boom, and then there's another one where she does it in the air, and then that could be a wave again to break the wall. I think. Yeah, see, launches him up in the air, jumps up, does a button, and then does a super, boom, breaks the wall. Yeah, pretty good damage too on Anji.
I know in the other video where they were explaining her attack moves. They didn't really say, like, they said that after a while Kenju like explodes or it gets contact. I want to know like what's the hitbox of that.
Oh yeah, I don't think they'll go over that much detail because they want to make it a quick video. But
the hitbox is huge. What?
Yeah. It's not.
How
I mean,
huge
like,
are we talking about?
Like
half the screen,
like
huge?
Nickelodeon All Star Brawl kind of hitboxes.
I'm over here. Okay, I'm gonna grab you right here.
like Yeah, it's like melee Marth grab, you know.
It's like, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, there's no excuse me.
Yeah. So who knows of how good she is or something like that. We definitely can't say. Am I gonna play her? Probably not. But you know, it's just again, she's like one of those characters like you're glad to see made it into the game, and you know, it's like some surprise because she's super popular. She looks cool, so they definitely were playing their cards when they're putting her into DLC like that because people are going to put money down for her for sure, and a season pass, of course. So fifth character, who knows? It could be a new character. It could be another character. I don't know. Did they say in the past? Let me see. Let's go back over here one last time. Yeah, so far the patterns here seems to be new character, old character, new character, old character. So looks like the pattern could be new character again as the last one. Yeah. If it is going to be a new character, I want to say it's the I want to say it's the president. Cuz he's got some funny things about him. He has a robot arm and you know, something could be like
the president.
yeah.
You mean G? Power to the R.
Yeah, to the us, yeah. Yeah, the president for those who watch the story, I mean, you could get to see like the modifications he had on him like over time, I guess. And he used to be a war veteran of sorts. I think he was in the military, so that's why he has some sort of experience. Obviously, he has aged, so that's why he can't quite fight. But it would just be funny for him to fight as a joke character. Like he'd be like kind of like the Dan of Guilty Gear, pretty much. If they want to throw him in there, I'd be down with that, actually. Otherwise, I can't think of a character right away that's new who can make it in there. I'm trying to like remember the story because we've already seen all the main characters that are new, like Happy Chaos and Go Lewis Dickinson. I hope I'm not forgetting anyone. It was kind of a long story, so it's a little hard to remember those little details. Like it could be a character that wasn't playable, but it's been around. Like that person's been around for a while, but never been playable. Maybe it could be that sort of character, and so I don't know who could that be if that's the case. Maybe like for example, I think the secretary for the president could have something, but I think she's just a complete human, so I don't think she has anything that would make her playable. But you never know, I guess. Otherwise, maybe Noelle, if it's or not Noelle, fucking what Bridget. There you go. Because Bridget and Noelle has the same fucking color scheme. Bridget could be the last character, possibly. Would you want to say it's Noelle? Oh my god, I keep saying Noelle. Bridget. Would you want to say it's Bridget?
I would like to see Bridget. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So. Now I know you've been saying like Zappa, and then you said like Testament. Yeah.
Testament, ABBA. Yeah, they ain't gonna show up because yes, they're kind of not well known, but people know of them.
Yeah.
Again, like when it comes to like actual like guess fan base, they're kind of like at the low end. Which is sad.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
I cry now.
Oh, well, that's all I can say pretty much. So, as much as we would like to speculate on who's will come in and whatever. So, All right. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Oh yeah, there's one more little update for Guilty Gear. They will have some sort of like combo maker update in there, which you can come up with a combo or set play. They said because you can also not only do combos, but you can also show off like setups, mix-ups, and stuff like that. That could potentially be pretty cool. Like nice little feature thrown in there for people who really like Guilty Gear, like the lab heads and stuff like that, who just want to spend a lot of time just experimenting with stuff and find stuff for each character. You know, you can do this, you can do that at the convenience within, you know, in the game instead of just looking up on YouTube and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have like direct interaction with that combo slash setup, so it could potentially be really cool. So next one, a little more on like the events type of stuff. So as we know from the past, Capcom Cup was canceled, the offline event anyway. But pretty much they confirmed it with this tweet right here that they are going to have some sort of season finale of 2021's CPT. So basically, it's going to be a 4-day event. They're going to have some sort of like cool little event at the first day, or day 0, I should say. So technically, day 1-ish. With the some of the crew, like they're going to have some sort of like 5v5 sort of crew battle with Street Fighter, of course. So that'd be kind of cool for those who are into the whole CPT sort of thing. And otherwise, they'll just have expedition matches of people from each region. Obviously, they're not playing each other, but they can only play each other within the region because you know, internet connection and stuff like that. So I think they'll can only limit to that. But you know, it's something. And then this is going to be happening February 17th through 20th. So funny enough, this is during the KOF 15 launch window. So people are going to definitely be playing KOF during this time. But I think also they'll reveal some information regarding to what's next for Street Fighter as well. So that's something definitely look forward to. Hopefully, they'll probably have like one final patch maybe, and then they'll have like the maybe the announcement for like the quote unquote Street Fighter 6 type of thing. So all right, so we can definitely move on from there. All right, another sort of similar event happening with Dragon Ball FighterZ. They actually postponed their championship instead of outright canceling it, like what Capcom did with CPT. So there looks like this one is going to be, or this one is kind of like a more optimistic type of viewing on the pandemic, like you know, the Omicron stuff and other stuff like that could die down, and they could be safe enough for them to have this event. But I don't know, because you know, who knows how many variants will pop up here and there, and that could warrant, you know, the cancellation. But you know, different approach on their end, of course, and seems like they were a little more optimistic about it in comparison to Capcom. Like Capcom really wants to be cautious about it, so they just canceled it altogether, which I don't blame them for. You know, just you know, we're still in the pandemic, so it sucks. But looks like Bandai Namco looks like they wanted to really postpone it, so they don't have a date yet because it says indefinitely postponed. So it was going to be in February, but they are going to move it to another date. So we'll have to see when. But you know, we don't know. They could just flat out cancel it as well. So all right, if you don't have any more comments about that, we can definitely move on from there. So this one, now we're gonna move into the frontline type of news here. So this is from Phil Spencer's Twitter. They wanted to make sure that they are clear with the whole Sony thing. They will have, you know, I may have said this before, but I just want to make sure that they will honor the contracts from all the other games that are already existing with PlayStation and that are coming up. So that means, Call of Duty isn't going to be going away from PlayStation just yet. I think there are still games that are going to be exclusive for PlayStation, in fact, because of contract stuff. So they just want to make sure that, that was clear. They're not going to take away and make it exclusive for Xbox right away or anything like that. And the same thing, of course, for all the other PlayStation stuff that is coming from Activision/Blizzard. So that's pretty much the gist of it. And then this one now, yeah, and this is definitely new for sure. This is with the Ravensoft situation. They have been on strike. Now they actually were able to form a union. And now they are trying to have Activision Blizzard recognize their efforts and stuff like that. But very recently, after that, Activision Blizzard, unfortunately, has not voluntarily recognized them. They actually decline the recognition that they want, that the QA engineers from Ravensoft asked for as they formed that union. So yeah, things are still looking a little shitty for the workers, right? And then the company are still looking like scumbags, blah blah blah. And you can kind of name it. Anything you got? Any comments that you want to toss in there? It's been looking pretty rough.
Microsoft is going to have to do a lot of spring cleaning.
Yeah, pretty much like you said, last time. There's going to be a lot of spring cleaning once this whole thing goes through.
Yeah, it looks like Activision Blizzard is just doing a lot of stupid shit before the actual acquisition is like said and done.
Yeah,
So once Microsoft fully has their hands, this is ours now. It's like, what the hell is all this mess? And you just see Activision and Blizzard going like, "Ay,
Yeah.
He's like, that's all your shit now, not ours. Bye. It's like,
they're probably like trying to set it on fire before they get their hands on it, so they have to like clean up.
No, it's like they're trying to discredit the company so badly before they leave. It's like,
yeah, they're leaving a bigger mess for them to clean up, pretty much. So
I know, it's like, how petty are you?
Yeah, I mean, there's been all that whole talk with Bobby Kotick and stuff like that, him leaving and blah blah blah. But we still have time, or there is still time. So there's still plenty of more damage that could come out from this whole thing too, before like you said, the cleanup begins. So yeah, meanwhile, the quality assurance in Raven's side of things, it's been pretty bad because we've talked about the costumes being invisible, for example, in Warzone. So that's why there's been bugs and stuff like that. And on top of that, there's been a lot of bugs in Warzone when it comes to like cheaters and stuff like that. Like, even though they said, "Oh, we implemented anti-cheat" or whatever, but people are able to get around it and throw in their cheats in there. I just saw a clip of someone with a flying car instead of a fucking flying helicopter, for example. Like, what does that say of what's going on with their games? So anyway, that's pretty much the gist of it. So yeah, pretty shitty still. A little more Bobby Kotick, funny enough. He I guess explained his motives, whatever it is, for allowing the purchase of the company. Somewhere in this article, but I wanted to read the quote tweet from Tracy Kennedy, who was or is still, I guess, a producer for Overwatch. So her tweet reads, "Bobby, tell everyone about the random projects for Overwatch 1 you all would shove on us. The team would do overtime for only them to get canceled, and for months of Overwatch 2 development to have been lost, or almost how or how almost entire teams are turning over and citing you as the reason. Don't be shy. You know. So it kind of just gives you all the more insight of how much hell it is to work with Bobby Kotick and just Activision / Blizzard altogether. You know. Anything you got from there? Any comment?
It's like Bobby's like again masking the whole big fire behind him. It's like there's nothing to see here. Look how nice this thing is. Look.
We're a nice place to work at, you know. we take seriously of work ethics and having a good work environment.
You know, like, yeah, we respect everyone's opinion. Sorry about this. Well, fuck this person's opinion. You know, saying that no.
Yeah, and then they say they respect their well-being, even though that's all the complete opposite, you know, of all the lawsuit stuff that's been happening. So yeah,
nothing happened in that hotel room.
I really wonder of how much that lawsuit is gonna cost him and everyone else too. That's involved with it too. When it comes to like the Activision / Blizzard people, the higher ups, I mean, or is Kotick gonna take all the hit? You know what I mean? Like, cause he's been like on the news a lot, you know, like that sort of thing. He's kind of like the face of it all when it comes to the bad side of it. I'm pretty sure like there are like plenty of other people who are involved with it when it comes to who did what, you know, or who ignored the situation rather. Therefore, who is guilty and all that. Yeah. Anyway, well, be sure to check back on that one. What's next? Oh yeah, so there was a popularity explosion again with Tifa on Twitter. I was wondering like what the fuck was going on? There was all this like fan art of Tifa. I mean, it's cool. They look cool, but why now? So apparently, I guess this is where it's coming from, right? There was a Senate meeting in Italy. We're not showing the video, obviously. There was a Senate meeting in Italy, and all of a sudden, I don't know if this was like someone within the meeting or someone outside the meeting, and then they hacked the whatever, like the video or whatever. But someone inserted a clip of a 3D model of Tifa, you know, in a very non-safe for work act with, I think it was like what, Cloud, I'm assuming, or something like that. I don't know, right? You know, a sexual act. Someone in the comments like, this is unacceptable. What exactly is the clip so I can research this? That's pretty funny. But anyway, so yeah, I guess that's what was like the big source of this like explosion of popularity. So Tifa is back on the timeline or timeline for Twitter. So very very strange if you do think about it, but
no, we're in the right timeline. Don't worry.
Yeah. Anyway, Tifa is popular because of this essentially, so I think this is kind of funny. Did you want to say anything about it? But because I'm pretty sure you caught wind of it at some point. Did you see the video? Did you see the actual like incident that happened?
No.
Oh, okay.
I saw the video.
Oh, you saw the video, but you didn't see like the people around it, like you can see like the senator, like the government people and like all the members of the meeting. They're kind of like what the fuck's going on? I saw a little bit.
See, if I was in that meeting, I'd be like, turn it up.
Yeah, turn it up.
Turn it up. Close that window now.
Yeah.
Close it.
Yeah.
Hands check, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
We're taking how long is this video? A 15-minute break.
Does it have sound? Does that video have sound?
I ain't telling shit. You go find out.
Why? I mean, it's not.
Yes, it does.
Okay. Right.
So I ain't telling shit. I'm not gonna spoil the good news of the Lord.
No, I just want to know if there was sound to it. So that's why, like, it's all the more hilarious. I mean, because there's a lot of like those videos on Reddit and they don't have sound to them, so it's like, I mean, either way, it's funny, like of someone just breaking into the meeting somehow and play that video.
Well, I bet you the person just did that because some meetings get really boring and you're falling asleep, so he might have been like
try to liven up things. Yeah. I wonder why Final Fantasy though. You know what I mean? Like,
maybe he just finished the game.
Maybe he just played the PC version. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Either way, it's funny. It's pretty hilarious. Okay. And then now we can leave off a note, a rather positive note, when it comes to the frontline news. So we talked about this too in the past, where Toei pretty much like claimed 150 of TotallyNotMark's videos, and of course, that's like a lot of work kind of gone to waste thanks to Toei. But with this video titled "We Won," sort of with the thumbnail and everything, I won't play it, but just have it right here just for the sake of source. But he basically explains what happened, of course, and what's going on and stuff like that. And if you want a TLDR, Brad Smith here did a pretty good job with it. His quote tweet, which TLDR is this whole thing, says, "Turns out Toei actually violated YouTube's terms in an attempt to get Mark's channel completely deleted, thus rendering their copyright claims through YouTube's system null and void. YouTube also established that Toei can't assert Japanese copyright law outside of Japan." So this is actually a pretty big win for the most part for the people, right? In the past, you can't really do anime stuff because just Toei just takes a lot of things away. If you're like not doing this for the money and stuff like that, if you're trying to make this a job, or not make this a job, it's just a hobby, then I guess you're okay. But when it comes to people who actually put time into it for the work, then it sucks, right? But a lot of times, including Mark, because he runs a little company, he pays people and everything, and he's trying to run a business while he's still maintaining fair use and all that stuff, right? But unfortunately, fair use doesn't exist in Japan because they revised it and it's just poorly written, So over the years, Toei kind of just went willy-nilly along with other Japanese companies, including Nintendo, right? Until Nintendo kind of backed off from that recently, or 3 years ago, I should say, about. Oh no, not 3 years ago. It's been time has been flying. It's like at least 5 years. Anyway, but now, YouTube is actually now putting down their foot and saying, you can't do that because this guy isn't in Japan. He lives in Ireland, right? So how does it make sense for you to assert Japanese laws for someone who lives in Ireland? And you can't, and they didn't even go through YouTube themselves to be like, hey, this guy is using our content for whatever blah 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 reason. Could you check it out and see if you can like put a copyright claim over it to tell him like, hey, this isn't right or whatever, right? And instead they did it themselves, which they're not really supposed to do, right? And not only that, they didn't even do a good job doing it because there's a lot of content that, while this is claimed, the other same video that's doing the same thing, it's not claimed. So, it's like a really like a random shot in a dartboard sort of situation. Like they're just kind of just like, oh, let's just pick these random videos just cause to fuck with TotallyNotMark, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if you have been sort of like keeping this story in the back of your mind or like that, but just from like hearing what you're hearing here, like What do you think of it, man?
I mean, it's like again, like Japan. Okay. On one part, I understand what Japan's trying to do.
Mm-hmm,
Another part is like, as you said, he lives over here. You're over here.
mm-hmm,
Your
mm-hmm,
laws do not match their laws.
mm-hmm.
Sit down.
Right, because in their country they have fair use, right? So it's like, how could you say that he can't do this when he doesn't live in your country, right? Yeah, like I can see if he lives in Japan and then this whole thing happens. Like, okay, well that's unfortunate, but that's okay, it makes sense. But he doesn't live in Japan. He lives in Ireland, so it's like, what the fuck? So what does how could I exercise fair use, which is in the fucking law, right? Including us too. Like in the U.S. we have fair use and stuff like that too. How can we not exercise that when if like it's basically saying like we have this law. How could you say that we can't use this part of the law to our benefit? So it just doesn't make any sense. It's like you're just trying to throw in rules that doesn't apply to us, right? Like we live in a completely different country, so how could you do that? Like, right? Like that would kind of make you sort of like a dictator of sorts for this part of the world, for how we use content and stuff like that. That that definitely doesn't that doesn't check in with the checks and balances sort of thing, right? If that really is the case. If they really are like some sort of like they have some sort of authoritative power of what could be used or what's fair use and what's not, it's like I mean, yes, I mean you could say, like, because this is content from Japan, but Mark is exercising fair use which exists in his country, so it all starts to sort of butt heads, and so Japan can't just like be like, oh well, we have this law, so we're gonna use this, even though he doesn't live in our country. It's a giant mess, right? So, but I think at the end of the day, you also have to sort of respect YouTube's rules too, because well, YouTube isn't in Japan, so no, that's another thing too. So yeah, that's This is all very, very revelating and very damning of what companies do to like you copyright claim content nowadays. So, what does it mean for the future, right? Could we still are we safe to do anime reviews for everyone, right? And stuff like that. We're definitely not out of the woods, I would say, but this is definitely a good beginning of something. This is definitely a good stepping stone for something that could be really cool for all of us, the rest of us in the future. So hopefully this is a start where Japanese companies, especially anime and stuff like that, can start to see the benefits of people reviewing your stuff, just allowing people to fair use your content in order to get their passions and just stuff across, right? And if they can see that, it could be very beneficial, right? Because video games, for the most part, already do that. They've been exercising this for a very long time at this point. And look where video games are right now. They're very, very like thriving off of this whole thing. Now that's for most video game companies. There are some video game companies that are like a bunch of babies and they're like, oh, using our content and whatever. But Nintendo was one of the last ones to do that, right? But they backed off. So that's like, also kind of telling of how they see things now. So hopefully anime goes to the same thing at some point, right? Hopefully they kind of just say, we'll let you do what you want, as long as you're not like slandering or, trying to make us intentionally look bad or defamation sort of thing, right?
And say, please don't make us look bad. It's like, you have done that yourself,
right? But there is a line, right? There's always a line for everything. Like you can't just say like, oh, Toei has child slavery or something like that, right? You can't just say that, or you can't just say, oh, they're murdering people or whatever, right? That, you know, you can't just say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can just go out and say like stuff.
Yeah, stuff like that. So, you know, as long as you're reasonable with it, that should be fine, right? If you're just like critiquing something, if you're providing a fair criticism, you know, if you know, you could be angry at this company as long as you have a reason, you have criticism, you have something to back up as to why. You know, if you don't like this part of the anime, you know, and you have your points and stuff like that, you know, that's criticism and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, it's a good thing I didn't make a like what's the word? Have my own shared thoughts of Digimon Adventure 1's reboot.
because that's also from Toei, right? So,
Like, let's just say the first few episodes, I was just saying what the fuck every 3 seconds.
mhm.
And then after those episodes, I was like, oh, okay, so this is where the ball is rolling. Okay. Why did we have to go through that hurdle?
Right. Obviously, you know, it's also like kind of weird too, right? Because TotallyNotMark has been going through the situation, and yet there are people who just upload the full fucking like Super Brawly movie and get away with it. You know, so like, you know, they definitely need to work on that part too. Like, if you're gonna be doing something, you gotta be accurate with that. You know, you gotta have the accuracy.
Yeah, you kind of cherry pick like who you're gonna attack.
Right. As long as you're, well, sensible with it. But, you know, it's a long road still. But this is looking like a good start of what's going to be really cool, possibly, for, well, us content creators or whatever, especially when it comes to anime reviews. But I wouldn't, you know, put out stuff like that just yet. You know, you gotta wait, gotta see. And if Toei comes out and be like, you're free to do it as long as it's reasonable, you know, you're free to do it, and we'll, you know, prosper. We'll both prosper from all this, you know, that sort of thing. Kind of like how, you know, like I said, how video games have been doing it. So, yeah. Anyway, that is pretty much the big gist of it. So, but yeah, you know, great stuff for Mark. It looks like it's been looking up for Mark, so I'm glad to see that, because he's been going through a lot of shit, especially during the whole initial part. Man, I'm pretty sure it was fucking stressful to go through that. Because I you know, I've had similar situations, sort of like, you know, YouTube fucks up a lot of things, you know, and somehow I've had my channel taken down twice. One time, it was during E3 week. Wow, what a perfect time to do that. And they were like, oh, we're working on it. And then it took a week later. And then, of course, by that time, E3 week was over. You know? And of course, it wasn't just me. It was like a number of people. Like a good number of people have kind of went through that problem during that week. And then, but before that, that one was because there was some weird thing going on with the do you remember that weird the MySpace thing, or not MySpace? Google had a social media thing going on. I forget what it was called. I think it was like Google Plus or something. I forget what it was called. But they were trying to do something like that, right? And so they wanted you to link that account to YouTube in order for you to, like, I don't know, like, do social media shit, right? They kind of like shoved in my face, so I was like, okay, I'll link it. And then because that got taken down, because, you know, they stopped running Google Plus or whatever the fuck what it was called, my channel got taken down with it. So I'm like, what the fuck, you know? So, you know, that was most likely the reason why that happened. So yeah, thanks Google for doing that twice, and YouTube. But yeah, you know, there's plenty of fuck ups, you know, on both ends, right? YouTube let it happen, but I'm glad that YouTube is doing something about it. I'm glad that they're putting down their foot to, like, be like, hey, you have to go through us to see if this is fair use or not. Because, you know, in this country, there's a thing called fair use. in your country, you probably want to work on your copyright laws. You definitely want to see other countries how they do things, right? You know, and see how they've been thriving from people reviewing and stuff like that, given fair use and stuff like that. A little more of that freedom within reason. So, yeah, I feel for this because I make content, I review things, and I like anime. I love anime, right? I want to talk about anime, but I'm scared because of things that like this can happen. But this is a good start, and hopefully, again, this is a start of something cool. So, all right, that is it from the front line, and then we go into the gaming news. A little bit more information about Nagoshi's studio. Nagoshi, who previously was working with Sega, but now he has his own studio because a Chinese company, NetEase, has pretty much gave him a contract or opportunity to open up a studio to work under them, but he can make stuff, I guess, or different stuff or something like that, probably with a lot of money. Not only Nagoshi was hired, and he founded the studio for Nagoshi Studio, but Nagoshi Studio also comprises of people formerly from Sega. So it's not just him, but a lot of people from Sega, or a handful of people from Sega, also joined the studio as well. And not only Sega, but the Yakuza staff. So a lot of the old Yakuza staff are in this studio. So yeah, we probably gonna see something, could have some. Okay. So we're back. I had to do some technical doohickey stuff. So hopefully this part of the recording goes through. But anyway, but we just had a couple of more things to finish off anyway. But so a little more on the movie side of things. There is going to be a Pinocchio movie from Del Toro. There was a trailer for it, but I mean, obviously I won't play it here. And it's going to be set in, or it's going to be on Netflix. I don't know if you caught this one, but it looks interesting. It's a Del Toro thing. I don't know if you're enthused of giving it a watch. Since it's from Del Toro, and of course you gotta have Ron Perlman. Yep. It's gonna have Ewan McGregor, Kate Blanchett, to name some of the ones I'm familiar with. Yeah. I mean, it's a claymation movie, so I'm always a sucker for those.
That's the part that's making me go, ooh. Because you don't see that anymore.
Not too much, no. The last one I saw was one of the Leica films or whatever. I think it was the what was it? It was that Japanese themed one. The oh boy,
Kubo?
Huh? Kubo? Is it Ku? It was like Ku something.
Yeah, Kubo, the one with the strings.
Yeah. Is it Kubo?
Kubo.
Yeah, okay. That's the last one I saw. Yeah. Kubo and 2 strings. Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Which I believe that was one of his last movies before he passed away.
Right. Oh, right.
Yeah, I think, or I might be thinking of someone
else. I heard something about that, but it's very foggy.
Let's look at the cast.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh. Yeah, George Takei.
Well, the person you are looking for. You remember his name or her name?
No,
Okay.
it my memory, it fades from my memory. But yeah, it looks interesting to me because I enjoy those type of movies. Claymation. Well,
Sorry. Client is pinging me something. So anyway, the Pinocchio film does look pretty interesting. I didn't catch when it is coming out. Oh, this is December. Okay, so December of this year.
December.
Yeah, December. For Netflix, so yeah, you don't have to catch it in theaters. So anyway, that's that. Now we got the Godzilla live action TV series that is actually coming for Apple TV, which I don't have, so unfortunately I can't catch it through normal means. But yeah, I mean we're getting something Godzilla related coming.
Yes, but the question is, what's the budget?
What's the budget? Is this from? Well, is this a legendary series?
Yeah, it's set in the MonsterVerse, so it's.
Oh
going to
yeah,
be
you're right. You're right. So yeah,
So again, what's the budget?
what's the budget? Yeah.
Because if I see one crappy ass looking Godzilla, I'm gonna be like, yeah, you're not part of this. You're part of the MonsterVerse, but you're part of like a different universe. This is the multiverse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll definitely see of what exactly we're gonna be looking at here. So time can only tell. All right, a couple more quick ones, and then yeah, that'll be it. So, Simu Liu, of Shang-Chi fame, because of the acquisition of Activision Blizzard, by Microsoft. He's hoping to see, StarCraft. He just says, please save StarCraft, and then has a lot of engagement, of course, right? Because everyone, a lot of people want to see that come back somehow. But if it does come back, I mean, what the hell would it be? Is it still gonna be that real time strategy game, or is it gonna be like a shooter? Or is it gonna be like a hero shooter? Like CC6 type of thing. Would it just be like an Overwatch clone? I don't know, right? Could be a lot of things. This is a stretch, right? What if they bring back Ghost, StarCraft Ghost? What if they were from the dead? Yeah. Probably. I mean, they probably have to start from scratch, but at this point, at least they would have like the concepts and ideas.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's just see.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, and then there's this lovely update for that one tweet we saw with the indie game developer who wanted to make a shooting game with Pokemon. More specifically, hunting Pokemon. And guess what? It was disabled by the copyright owner. So, what do you know? It got taken down. I wonder. Yeah. Gee, I wonder why. Seeing the history of these like fan games, right? Seeing how they went.
It's like Nintendo's like, why is people liking this fan game better than ours? Like, because.
Well, when it comes to like the actual genuine like fan games,
Yeah.
I think in this case, I think we can live without it. But there is a statement, I guess. He says, Seeing millions of people react to the Pokemon FPS was a wild roller coaster of emotions. No, Nintendo did not sue or even send a cease and desist. It was a simple video takedown. I got nothing but love for the company that inspired me to get into the game design. Anyways, I'll be continuing development on the game, but the next patch will be... Oh, okay, I see. So, okay. Anyways, I will be continuing development on the game, but next patch will remove all Pokemon and a bunch of new surprises. Okay, so he kind of just used... It seems like he kind of just like used the Pokemon as like a publicity stunt to get people to look at his name and stuff like that. Maybe?
Nice.
Yeah.
That's how you do it, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, gotta break a few eggs to make an omelet, right? So.
Fuck the breaking the eggs. You got the chicken.
Yeah.
You broke the chicken to get to make the omelet.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that is sort of the gist of it. That's all she wrote. So, but basically, yeah, it still means that we're not gonna see Pokemon in there, of course. But I guess the video was kind of just like taken down for different reasons. It wasn't so much like what I thought it was the Pokemon company be like, hey, can't do that, or Nintendo saying, hey, you can't do that. It was just something else. But at least he's somewhat sensible about it. Like, yeah, I'm gonna just take away the Pokemon, just be safe, and do something else with it. But he's got eyes on his name, so that could be what his intention was the entire time. So that's all there is to it. I think I'm assuming you mostly agree on it for the most part. Yeah.
But in retrospect, I would have played it just to have like laughs,
for the laughs, yeah.
Going like, oh my god, because again, if we go by like Pokemon like lore and anime, there are poachers, and what do poachers do?
Yep. Very nasty things.
Sorry to keep it real.
All right, well, that is all there is to it. Unless you have like something to pepper in before we sign off.
Absolute vodka. I'm hungry. Kitty, are you hungry? Oh, she's sleeping.
Yep. All right. Well, that is the end of episode 171. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been pretty fun as always, and we'll hope to see y'all in the next one if we have something to talk about. So, yep. Till then, we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. And hopefully this file wins.